What's going on, everybody? Valenoth here, and in today's video we'll be going over how to get your raid exotic Sparrow out of Deep Stone Crypt completely solo. If for whatever reason you do not have a fire team or a clan that's willing to help you get it, not a big deal. Just follow this simple guide and go get it by yourself. Now there is going to be a couple enemies at the end, some brigs, a couple of void captains. For me, I took Xenophage, exotic machine gun heavy. I took my posterity hand cannon as my secondary, and my heritage shotgun as my primary. I went top tree in my void subclass. With my vortex grenade, I really like having vanishing step for when I dodge I go invisible. And I must admit, the raid armor looks pretty good on a hunter. But with that, let's fire it up. Europa destination, Deep Stone Crypt. As you can see, no one's in my fire team, completely solo. Let's go. Okay, so right off the bat, you're gonna jump down and have to clear a couple of ads. Here in a second, you'll be able to see exactly why I like Vanishing Step. It's excellent for getting out of really close situations, just like that. Marauder thought I was still there. Pepper him in the back. So once the first wave is clear, the crypt opens. You're just gonna ride your Sparrow through to the first encounter. When you get to the first encounter, apologies. When you get to the first encounter, you're gonna notice there's 6 pikes. In order to achieve your raid exotic Sparrow, you have to take all 6 pikes and put them in the final bubble. Now along the route, you do not have to hit all the other bubbles. In order for the triumph to complete, you simply have to have all 6 pikes in the final bubble. At any point throughout the encounter, if your pike gets destroyed, it will simply respawn at the start, which you will see. So the triumph you're looking for is called Not Without a Scratch, or Not a Scratch, sorry. And it tells you right there, get all 6 pikes to the final heat bubble. This triumph is required if you are going after your Deepstone Crypt seal for the Descendant title. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a little glitch so that you stay sheltered from the storm. I have no idea if Bungie intends on fixing this, but for the time being, we're going to use it. So what you want to do is you're going to hang out just outside the bubble like so. Wait till you have a couple of stacks of frostbite, jump off the pike into the bubble, wait for the stacks to clear, jump back onto your pike from inside the bubble, and you will no longer get frostbite. Now, your Sparrows, when it comes to boosting, are far better than pikes, as well as your Sparrows have brakes, pikes do not. My recommendation is when jumping these gaps, don't try to boost the entire route on a pike, because most of the time you're not going to make that jump, and you're just going to fall to your death and have to start over. So I would simply suggest getting to the edge and then boosting to make sure you can clear that gap. So here we are at the second bubble. So from the start we go left down those 2 gaps to our second bubble, where we will go right down through this little canyon, avoid those mines, jump down, there you can see third bubble. So now what you're looking for is these little glow stick looking things in the snow, and you just follow those. So there's that one. I did kind of miss one, I think, for a second back there, but I'll clarify that. There's another bubble. And since you're not taking damage from frostbite, you're free to roam around and to look around for these glow sticks. These lamps, if you will. It's kind of reminiscent of the Crota raid. If you ever did Crota in Destiny 1, then at the start of Crota you had to run to the lamps to avoid getting the stacks of darkness while the Thrall were chasing you. It's kind of like that. After you've cleared that part I just went over and you reach this final light stick there, you're going to turn left and go into the canyon. And there's a couple of different ways through this little canyon as long as you end up at the right spot. I preferred to go around the mines. So at that try, that's your final glow stick. At that little try, you can go to the right, but it's a lot further jump. I prefer to go to the left like this. And you can see the final bubble right there with the Briggs. I jump straight across because there's a little pad down there where you can park your pike, like so. Just hop off your pike, you're not taking damage from the storm, and go clear your adds. The brigs here are by far the hardest to get rid of, and the most annoying. And the best part about this, if you die, it's completely okay. It actually does you a favor, because it sends you straight back to the top, where you can simply grab a second pike and head to the bottom. Although if you do die, and every single time you start at the top, you will have to re-glitch, I guess, to make sure you're not taking that storm damage. And again, follow the same exact route. Boost at the edge for the maximum pike jump. Yeah, so right after the second bubble, I missed that on my first pike. So right after the second bubble, go straight past to the glow stick, turn left, and you'll go to this glow stick, turn right. In the distance there, you can see another bubble. Go left at that bubble. Now these little gaps here, you can simply ride over them. If you're careful enough, you'll glide right over the gap until the end, and then you need to boost right there. Keep in mind, your pikes don't have brakes like your Sparrow do, so if you over boost one of those smaller gaps and try to hit your brakes to keep you from going off the other side or off the edge, you're just going to shoot instead. And my first pike hasn't disappeared even though I died. Just park it. And go back to clearing the adds. My hand cannon really wasn't doing me any justice, so I switched to something with a little more range. Put through on my trusty scout rifle, which is as well the raid scout rifle. Pretty good gun. I really like it. If you can't tell, I'm not very good with shotguns. I miss a lot of shots. There we go. All the ads at the final bubble are clear. You'll know it's the final bubble because there will be a door at the end. And you really can't go anywhere else. But once you're at the final bubble, all the ads are cleared, your pikes are safe from being destroyed. You'll simply jump back up that ledge, and you're still not taking damage from the storm. And you'll go get your pikes and bring them in. So, as you can see, I got my 3 pikes that I've already brought due to my 2 deaths. And now I have to go back to the start and get the other 3. In each bubble are these little transmat pads. One transmat pad will take you back to the prior bubble. Obviously, we didn't clear any of these ads. So you just, most of the time, you can run in there and they won't even notice you're there and you'll be able to transmat back without an issue. But it is always fun knifing a dragon face. And there we go, back at the start with my final 3 pikes. So once you're at the start though, you will need to rebuff yourself or re-glitch yourself every single time. And from here, it's just pretty much rinse and repeat. Oof. Almost fell off right there. almost done. We got one left to go. Oh, wrong spot, wrong spot. No, 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 no. Ah! Oof. Mistakes were made. Well, that works because now you guys can see that even if you die with a pike, it's okay because it will respawn right at the start. And clearly, you want to avoid hitting that rock. Try to shoot for the left of it. Let's not mess this up. There we go. Plenty to the left of that rock right there. And there we go. We got 6 pikes in. All 6 are there. Once you have all 6, you should have a triumph completion for not a scratch. And in order to claim your raid Sparrow, you just go into the triumph and complete it. And it should give you your raid exotic Sparrow. I believe it's called Retro Casualty. One last final thing right before I get out of here. You can also get your first secret chest for the raid at this final bubble. If you choose to come in here solo, you could get a piece of raid gear on every character. So that's 3 pieces of raid gear every week at reset that you can get completely on your own. If you don't have time to run the raid or whatever's happening, just come in here, get your free 3 pieces. So if we're looking at the door, we go out the bubble to the right to these 2 rocks. We're going to jump up these rocks. and then jump up the to that higher ledge. Be a little crevice back here, and there we go. There's our chest. So let's see what it gives us. I got a posterity hand cannon and some spoils of conquest. Let's see what my roll was. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is probably one of the best rolls on the posterity, PvE and PvP. I've got reconstruction, accurized rounds, appended bag, and rampage with a range masterwork. This thing is an instant masterwork weapon. Just the reconstruction alone on a hand cannon. So the base magazine for posterity is 13. With the appended mag, I can go up to 16. With reconstruction, it can double that and go up to 26 rounds. 26 rounds in a hand cannon with rampage perk on it? That thing's untouchable. And reconstruction reloads on its own. With the accurized rounds for the extra range, as well as the range masterwork, dude, solid roll right there. I bet if I put an backup mag mod on it, I could hit over 30 rounds with this one hand cannon. And as we all know, Rampage can stack up to 5 times. 3 times is the usual because you're pretty much dead and cleared everything by the time you hit 3 stacks of Rampage, but still, 36 rounds in a freaking hand cannon is amazing. And it reloads itself. I'm pretty happy about that roll right there. Alright, so once you've grabbed your chest, you've now completed your triumph, and you have your exotic Sparrow. The next step would be to head into the crypt and go to cybersecurity. I think I wanted to see if there was any other hidden things. I don't think there is. You can't really go much further on the map than here. Show off this god tier roll real quick. I've gotten maybe 7-8 posterities out of the raid so far, and that roll right there is easily my best. But with that, you have now got your Sparrow, and you're ready to continue into the raid. So, good luck everybody. I hope you find this useful and go get your raid sparrow in your chest every week. And I will catch you in the next one. Later.